Blog.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio's The Incoherent Ramblings. Welcome to Welcome to Blog Talk Radio's The Incoherent Ramblings of C&E. Christopher and Eric are your hosts, coming to you live from Greensboro, North Carolina, as we do every Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Our intro music is provided from the Podshow PodSafe Music Network. Check it out at music.podshow.com. Also feel free to email your topics for discussion, suggestions, and comments to incoherentramblings@live.com.
Hello, this is Christopher.
This is Eric.
We are opening our show today, February the 12th, 2009, and
Live from C&E Studios.
Yeah, internationally famous C&E Studios here in Greensboro, North Carolina. How are you today, Eric?
Doing great, Chris. And yourself?
I am doing well. Beautiful day.
Gorgeous.
A little windy, but nonetheless a beautiful day today and yesterday. And so hopefully it will continue throughout the weekend. So we have an exciting show today, people. We do. Of course, we are going to incoherently ramble, as the name of the show would suggest. But in addition to that, we're going to discuss the octuplet mom, continue that discussion from last week. Eric has done some research on that. And we are also going to have a featured Tech Corner segment on XBMC and the Boxy environment presented by our technical correspondent, Dr. William Mitchell. Please stay tuned for that because that is going to be at 6:40 this evening. So it's going to be an exciting segment, and hopefully it will spurn some interest with some people. No, Eric and I...
Something to look forward to, absolutely. Yeah. I know very little about it, and I'm absolutely looking forward to it. So.
Yes. So that's at 6:40.
Dr. Mitchell knows.
Yes. Dr. Mitchell is the... I think he's pretty much considered... he's the... I don't even know how to word it. He is the...
He's got you speechless.
He does. He's the expert.
He is the foremost expert.
The foremost. World-renowned.
World-renowned technology expert, which is why we have him on the show. We wouldn't have anything less.
Exactly. This show is top shelf all the way. So anyhow, we're going to dive right now from that embarrassing little bit of whatever I just did into the octuplet. Let's go ahead and get into this, Eric.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and get into it now.
Finished last week's show.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Octuplet mom.
As our listeners haven't heard enough about this already in the news.
Right. Nadia?
We brought it to you first.
We did.
I don't think the other news networks were really reporting on this until we made a big deal on our last show.
We made a big deal about it, and then it's just taken the media by storm.
So I think next week you'll probably hear the national media taking off on the superhero registry.
Yes. They do seem a couple weeks behind us.
They do. So,
and we can't promise anything, but there is a possibility. There is a small possibility we might actually get Miss Nadia for an interview. We actually have her contact information. We are going to contact her, and it would be really cool if we could get an interview with her. And we're trying to set that up.
yes.
And if we do, it's going to be huge.
It will be. I can't imagine why she wouldn't come on our show.
No, yeah.
I mean, she settled for...
Yeah, if we send her $5 in food stamps, she might do it right now if we call her.
She's already getting $4.90 a month, so I don't think $5 will do it.
Well, who knows?
Who knows?
Anyhow, this lady, she denies being selfish. We are having apparently a tornado outside, so we'll close the window. Sorry about that. She was impregnated with 6 fertilized eggs. Is that correct, Eric?
That is correct. We should step back. She already had 6 children.
Already has all 10 years old or younger.
Right. All of them came from in vitro fertilization as well.
Right. So, apparently, well, no, I won't even go there. Yeah. I did not know that. I was curious about that.
I just learned that today.
Okay. So, and all those are 10 years old or younger.
Correct.
So, before this, she already had a house full of youngins.
Right.
6. Wow. And now she's added 8 more.
And apparently she already had 6 frozen eggs of her own that she wanted to have. She wanted to have all 6 of them implanted at the same time, which she did. And then 2 of those split is how she ended up with 8.
Wow. So there are 2 sets of identical twins. And then 4 sets of what's the other kind of twin? The other kind of twin that's not identical.
The non-identical twins.
Yes. But nonetheless, 8 infants. I can't imagine. If nothing else, my father and I were discussing this last night. If nothing else, can you imagine feeding time?
Oh, I know.
I mean, I can't. I don't have children.
I saw her grandmother interviewed, who's helping raise the current 6, who just felt like what she did was just unconscionable, and says that Nadia justifies it because she says those frozen embryos were living human beings.
No.
So
Walt Disney is a living human being, apparently, because he is frozen.
But her grandmother made a good point. They didn't have to be thawed, and they could have been donated to another couple as well.
Right. Or maybe she could have just had 1 put inside of her.
Exactly.
8 at one time.
Interesting too. She's unemployed. She's single. But she paid over $100,000 to have those.
Wow. Where'd that money come from?
Well, she had earned $165,000 over 6 years for a disability she had earned from a back injury wherever she worked previously. So part of it came from that. Part of it came from some odd jobs that she had.
Wow.
So she wanted them badly.
Well, she's determined. Well, we can give her that.
Determined.
She is determined.
Yes.
Well, I don't really, I have to throw out, the person wants to remain anonymous, but we do have a listener of the show that sent in a comment, and the comment was along the lines of, wanting to give not come down so hard on her, because anything that is done, like anything that's withheld from her, whatever, is just going to be hurting the children. And I understand our listener's comment there, and I appreciate that. And I have never once felt any contempt for these children, not even for Nadia. I just thought it would seem to be an unwise, irresponsible decision.
Yes.
To have all 6 put in there at one time, knowing that you're going to have at least 6 infants at once, with really no source of income. Yes, she has a couple $1,000s in governmental assistance from her. Eric, you can share with us some of her previous 6 children are disabled?
Correct. She has 3 of her current 6 or previous 6 children are disabled. One has autism. One of them has ADHD, which I didn't even know was a disability. And then one of them has a slight speech impediment that with some slight tendencies toward autism as well. So and we don't know how much she gets a month from the disability from those 3, but apparently it's estimated to be around $2,700 a month from disability from those 3 children.
Right, and you throw in the $490 for
food stamps.
For food stamps. So
she's getting some assistance now.
We're thinking somewhere around $3,500 a month, which in today's economics, especially living in California, that's not like a ton of money, especially with 14 children.
Correct.
But nonetheless, she is receiving some assistance, and I really don't have any ill feelings toward her. It seemed like it was very irresponsible. But nonetheless, these children need to be taken care of.
Absolutely.
That is one thing that all of us can agree on.
Absolutely.
They should not have to suffer because of her irresponsibility.
And I've heard people say that she did this mainly just to get more assistance, and we don't know that. I think, honestly, she has some mental issues myself.
I do, too. Well, and you mentioned her mother or grandmother. I'm not sure which one it is I saw, but she was almost teary-eyed, and she made the comment. She said, she really, really is obsessed with children. She loves children. And it sounds like there may be a mental issue here. And I agree with you. Some people are saying it was just a stunt to get more money. even if not on the national scene. But we can't make that call.
Right.
We're not positioned to make that call.
The interview that I saw on TV mentioned that before she received her workers' compensation, she had had some sort of psychiatric evaluation and had told doctors that she had had 3 miscarriages before having those the first set of in vitro fertilization.
Wow. Okay.
And after finally getting pregnant, she had plunged into some sort of paranoia about losing the babies and some sort of deep depression. So there's definitely some psychiatric issues there.
Right, and there's precedent for it.
Right.
And, you know, one thing that you said has changed my opinion on her. I'm going to be honest with you. When you saying, I asked you how did she fund, $100,000. I don't have it. You don't have it. How did she fund that? And she got a settlement, and then she's just been saving money. You know, a lot of people, I know someone personally that got a settlement because of it was actually an unfortunate incident where someone got killed on the job. And within a very short amount of time, all that money was blown. And we've heard stories about people winning the lottery, 3 years later bankrupt living on the street. This lady obviously does care about children to the point where she saved $100,000 and some thousand.
But it's also further evidence of her irresponsibility. She also has $50,000 in student loans that she didn't use that money to pay off either.
So. Or she could have paid off her student loans and kept the remaining $50,000-$60,000 to take care of the 6 children that she already had.
Right. So I'll also say this. I found this out in my research to say that she's not the only one to blame in this whole situation. The fertility industry has guidelines limiting the number of embryos that can be transferred, and her doctors violated them recklessly.
Well, my father threw out there, even as socially liberal as the UK is, they have laws not allowing more than 2 at one time.
Right.
And I really don't know how I feel about making that rule. I guess,
I think if you're financially capable of supporting them, you should be able to have as many as you want.
Right. But if the rule is there,
right.
If the rule is there, we have to follow it. And obviously, all the responsibility is not on her.
Right.
Some of that is on her doctors.
Correct.
Wow. And I had read somewhere where a doctor had said something was definitely not right with the situation, and it was something along those lines of ethics, and apparently a law was broken.
Right. By the doctors that she chose, which is also the same doctors that did the initial 6.
Wow.
So maybe they're just out to make a quick buck. You made some sort of, I found this out in my research, and you were saying because she could have used that $50,000 to help raise the kids she has now. There's, in an article that I read, on average, it costs between $162,000 to $333,000 to raise a child through 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
So she already had 6.
Right.
You multiply those numbers by 8, and she's looking at spending $1.3 to $2.7 million.
She better get another workman's comp settlement.
Absolutely, or maybe 27 of them.
Right. Right. Who knows? And you have some neat history on octuplets for us.
I did. I found out that the
Nigerian couple, I believe.
Well, they were in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they were Nigerian. They were the world's first. They had the world's first set of surviving octuplets back in '98, in December 20th of '98. So they're 10 years this year.
Okay.
So and actually, when they had their babies, the Fannie Mae actually gave them a house, a 5,200 square foot house. So I'm not saying that that's what Nadia was looking for in this whole situation, but I guess our government set some sort of precedent then.
Right.
Seeing that.
Maybe we should get Barney Frank on the phone.
There you go.
All right.
Hear what he had to say about the matter.
Well, of course, we wouldn't be able to understand him.
Right.
But maybe we could get him on the phone for an interview. Well, what's kind of started this, what we wanted to go back and review was this John and Kate plus 8. They have a TV show, folks, on TLC.
I've never seen it.
I have never seen it either. They had twins October 8, 2000. May the 10th, 2004, they had sextuplets. That was 6 babies at one time. And the TLC actually has a show kind of like following them around I guess kind of like the Osbournes. Well, except for without the profanity and the
TV.
drugs. But yeah, just following them around and saying, hey, look, they have a bunch of youngins.
Right.
A
whole gaggle.
Yeah, a whole gaggle. So we brought them up last week. We didn't even know their names. That's really how incoherent we are. We have a listener, folks, that has just informed us that they watch John and Kate Plus 8 all the time. And so apparently it is a popular show. Eric and I, we're not one of the cool kids. We aren't. Yeah, that's understating. So anyhow,
we also might want to say before we leave this subject, if we
go
nearing the end, I don't know, but she has a website now posted.
Okay.
Where you can go and actually make donations if you wish, meet the octuplets, get their names, see pictures.
Okay.
And
do we have that website?
That's the name of the website right there.
Folks, if you have a little bit of compassion or extra money you would like to donate to this cause, it would be www.thenadiasulmanfamily.com, and that's THENADYASULEMAN family.com. And the production company for that is based out of Carborough, North Carolina.
For what?
For what? Oh, for TLC.
For TLC.
Right. Yeah. I'm multitasking here.
That's why you digress.
I
go back and forth and back and forth.
Incoherent Ramblings.
That's right. But one of our listeners just called in and told us that the production company for
John and Kate
Plus 8 is based out of Carborough.
Carborough, North Carolina.
Interesting to know.
Which we
have informed listeners.
We do have informed. Our listeners they're top of the line.
They are.
And I want to throw this out there. Carborough is a sister city right beside of Chapel Hill. And I'm going to gloat for about 4 seconds right here. UNC Tar Heels went into Cameron and waxed the floor with the Duke Blue Devils last night.
Yes,
and it was a beautiful thing. And I love seeing all the students sitting there with blank looks on their faces. It was just a marvelous, wonderful time that I had watching that game.
I'm glad you had that.
It was really nice.
Worked out for you.
Yeah. So John and Kate Plus 8. So anyhow, have we talked about the octuplets enough, or do you have something else for her?
That's all the information I have here to share today.
Okay.
Well, we can get her on the phone and.
Well, maybe we'll set up an interview with her in the future, because there are some people out there that might be caring enough to throw a little money her way, and I would not begrudge that at all, and I hope that maybe someone can help her out, because she needs it. She does.
I was surprised when I finally saw the first interview of her. I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but she's an attractive girl. Or not totally unattractive.
Right. She's an attractive girl, and also she's very calm, cool, collected, and she's very well spoken.
She is.
When I saw the interview, I was expecting someone loony.
Yep.
She's not. She's very well spoken. So I believe she has good intentions. That's not.
She thinks the reason she's getting such a bad rap is because she's single. I don't think that's the whole reason.
No, I don't think it's because she's single. I think it's because she doesn't really have the means to take care of these children, and people are looking at that foremost. They're like, how are these children going to be taken care of?
Right. Plus, it wasn't a total accident either. This was.
It's not like she's either married or not married, and she had them the normal way, and eight babies came out.
Right.
She purposely impregnated herself with 6.
Right.
So I think that's why people were frustrated. But as I said before, none of that has any bearing on the children. No. Any contempt or frustration we have would be with her irresponsibility. So we have a few little funny stories for you now. Eric, would you like to share something about a motorcycle, I believe?
Yeah, I got a story. A naked man riding motorcycle during winter weather has been charged with a traffic violation and 2 misdemeanors after leading police on a chase through Searcy that ended with a state trooper's car when a state trooper's car collided with a motorcycle. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Christopher Clark, 35, was cited with indecent exposure, and fleeing an accident on January 26th. That happened in Arkansas.
Okay.
So
that's interesting. It reminds me, have you seen the movie Waking the Divine?
I have not.
I'd recommend it. There's an old man riding a motorcycle on it, and he's naked.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Road conditions were wet at the time. So you shouldn't be riding your motorcycle when it's wet.
No.
And cold outside.
Yeah. Did he have a helmet on?
That's a good question. I wonder if that's one of the things he was cited with.
Because then he wouldn't be naked.
I'm not sure Arkansas has helmet laws.
He would be clothed. Well, at least his head would be clothed.
Anyway, just thought I found that interesting. I didn't read the whole article, but
with
that
that caption?
Yeah, that says enough.
Well, speaking of driving,
yes,
and maybe
motor accidents.
Yes, and we have another story here for you. Driver issued 50 traffic citations in one day. One day, Eric. Now, I don't want to pick on you too much, but you do have a little bit of you do have a history of traffic citations, right?
I do. I have to admit, I have 0 points on my license.
Yeah. But have you ever had 50 traffic citations in one day?
Not in one day.
Have you ever had crack cocaine in your car?
Never caught with it. No, I've never had it in my car ever.
Well, this is Dateline February the 7th out of Boynton Beach, Florida, a few miles south of
Forrest Whitaker lookalike.
Forrest Whitaker lookalike. Elvis Alonzo Barrett, 46 years old. He was driving
in the ghetto.
Crazily in the ghetto. He ran through red lights. He crashed into another car. He crashed into a fence. He was obviously, running from police officers. All manner of things he was doing wrong. And when they stopped him,
at least 50.
At least 50. That would be my guess. When they found him, when they finally stopped him, they found crack cocaine and a crack pipe in his car. So this gentleman is he was not wearing a seatbelt. I mean, the charges just keep piling on. Speeding.
I've been charged for not wearing a seatbelt.
Have you?
I will admit to that.
Have you? Okay. But you do not look like Forrest Whitaker.
I shouldn't say this, but sometimes I don't wear my seatbelt on purpose. So that if I do get pulled over for a speeding ticket, sometimes they'll just give me a warning for not wearing my seatbelt and let me go on the speeding ticket. It's happened to me 3 times.
There you go, folks. A tip.
It's like they're encouraging me not to. But,
of
course, now my car just makes a racket if I don't. So I have to.
Yeah, you have to because it makes you go crazy. Right. So, here we go.
Not that I encourage breaking the law by any means.
No, we do not.
We here at the C&E studios encourage you to wear your seatbelts.
Yes, for safety. It really, so anyhow, I thought that was interesting. Do you have an interesting story for us? It has another car story, perhaps?
Well, I do. Man steals car after posing as a famous rock band drummer.
Wow.
So, in Clearwater, Florida, police have charged Eric Hook, 48, with grand theft auto after detectives say Hook stole and crashed a 2002 Corvette while posing as a drummer for the rock band Foreigner. Why? We don't know. According to the police report, Hook used the name Corey James and the rock performer's persona to befriend Newport Richey resident Norma Rutledge. Rutledge, 47, allegedly met Hook at the Tampa Marriott, and the two eventually ended up together at the Clearwater Beach Hilton.
Wow.
Hook was then able to con the valet at the Hilton to provide him access to the 2002 Corvette without her knowledge or consent by posing, I guess, as a famous drummer.
Famous.
If
it were 1980.
Correct.
Yes.
So apparently there was never a drummer by the name of Corey James that ever was with the band Foreigner.
Well, it looks like he would have done his homework and at least picked the drummer that had been with the band.
Apparently didn't have to. He's just that good.
Well, I guess so. Well, sometimes, Eric, I like to enjoy a soda.
Oh my goodness! I hadn't fully read this story. I have to interrupt you here, but when he was taken to jail, apparently he's been records show that he uses 16 different aliases.
Wow!
So that wasn't his only one.
So maybe Steve Perry from Germany, or who knows?
Perhaps.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is an interesting story, in fact, and also from Florida, just like our Forrest Whitaker lookalike.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently down in Florida we have some crazy things going on.
Cars
and people. But I was just saying, sometimes I like a soft drink.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking, if I lived in India, what would I drink?
Well, Chris, Hot off the presses.
Hot off the presses.
February 11th. India to launch cow urine as soft drink. I'm not making this up, folks. Does your Pepsi lack pep? Is your Coke not the real thing? India's Hindu nationalist movement apparently has the answer, a new soft drink made from cow urine. Now, this bovine brew is in the final stages of development by the Cow Protection Department of the RSS, India's biggest and oldest Hindu nationalist group. Let's see here. It's undergoing laboratory tests and will be launched very soon, maybe by the end of the year. They say, don't worry, it won't smell like urine, and it will be tasty too.
Wow.
He told the Times from his headquarters in Hardwar, one of our holy cities on the river Ganges, that it's going to be very healthy, and it won't be like carbonated drinks. It will be devoid of any toxins.
Wow. That reminds me, if I can do a little quote from Dodgeball. Rip Torn, playing Patches O'Houlihan, he was saying that he liked to drink he drinks his own urine. He says, necessary? Is it necessary for me to drink my own urine? No, but I do it anyway because it's sterile and I like the taste.
There you go.
So maybe
Patches O'Houlihan.
Maybe Patches O'Houlihan could go over to India and maybe be a taste tester for them.
Yes.
Yes. Wow.
Well, apparently Hindus revere cows, and slaughtering them is illegal in most of India. Cow dung is traditionally used as fuel and disinfectants in villages.
Because it smells great.
Right. While cow urine and dung are often consumed in rituals to purify those on the bottom rungs of Hindu society.
Yeah, they have a caste system there in India.
Yes, exactly. So.
Wow, that is interesting.
So, I guess Coca-Cola brands, be wary.
Yes. Do they have a name for this urinated beverage?
I don't think so.
Urine beverage.
I don't think so. But they say they may export it.
I don't think we want to interview them or get a sample.
Yes.
I am not interested.
He insisted, however, that he would be able to compete with American cola brands, even with their enormous advertising budgets, and that they're going to give good competition as our drink is good for mankind, he said. We may also think of exporting it.
Wow. That is very interesting.
Yes. So that's something to look forward to. Cow urine soft drink.
Well, on a different note, we have dumb crook news. This caption just kind of caught my attention. It's also February 11th, Cape Hayes, Florida. Man runs out of gas after robbing gas station. So he robbed the gas station. What state was this in? Florida. Okay. Florida again. three stories about vehicles, Florida's stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cape Hayes, Florida. He robbed the gas station.
Where are you from, Chris?
I was born in West Palm Beach.
Okay. Explains a lot, doesn't it?
I guess it does. He used a Bowie knife, a 12-inch blade Bowie knife. He went in and demanded money, and he robbed them at knife point. So the deputies come in. They're looking for this robber, and a newspaper carrier was like, "Hey, I just saw a car matching that description on the road." There he was on the side of the road, out of gas. So if you're going to rob a gas station, maybe you should gas up first, fill your tank, and then go rob them and then leave. That would be. I wouldn't suggest robbing it, absolutely, but if you're going to, at least get some gas while you're at it.
Exactly. Then you got the gas and the cash.
Exactly.
Even if you're not low on gas.
Exactly. Which I rarely am.
Although a lot of these stations now, I guess, do make you pay before you pump.
Yeah, they do.
Maybe that's why you didn't do it.
Maybe you didn't have the money.
I don't frequent those places.
No, I do not either.
I despise that policy with a passion.
Yes, I do too. Yes. And I also will not go to a station that doesn't have pay at the pump with a debit card.
Right.
They don't get my business. I'm sorry. I know that may be a little bit snobbery, but he's just not going to do it. 72-year-old man from the UK. Milkman delivering marijuana with the milk. That's an interesting story here. He was leaving notes on the doorsteps. His customers were leaving notes on the doorstep, putting in their order. these are elderly people, and they all have aches and pains and that are common with becoming an elderly person. I am not one of the few people that agree with legalizing drugs, but I'm not really seeing him as a hardened criminal right here. He's 72. His customers are all his age or older.
Right.
Apparently
the courts agreed with you because looks like he pleaded guilty and was given a suspended sentence. So
yeah, he was given
of only 36 months.
Yeah, 3 years. So still, I mean, I'm not saying he shouldn't have something.
Right.
But I mean, I'm not seeing a hardened criminal here when a lot worse things are happening.
Yeah. I wonder if he delivered snacks with those.
He probably made brownies.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't. It's a good. Did the older people get the munchies? That's the question. So, do you have any weird news for us there, Eric?
I only have one other. I really was going to end with my bovine drink.
But we have one more.
We do have one more.
Okay.
There was a boy in California. Speaking of odd births, California seems to be the place because there was a boy born with 24 fingers and toes in California. The medical staff at St. Luke's Hospital in San Francisco said that the digits on young Hubbard's hands were so perfectly formed that they did not constitute a deformity or a disability. According to the Daily Telegraph, the baby looked so normal that maternity staff did not even notice the discrepancy. The boy's father, Chris Hubbard, eventually spotted the sixth digit on each hand and foot. So it's very rare, especially for it to happen on the feet and hands. He said his father thought that was quite unique, and I have to agree.
It is. That is. Interesting.
That's my last.
That's it?
Story. Yeah.
Well, that's it for our news stories.
I guess you could say, give me six.
Give me High six. Yeah. So I wonder how his split finger fastball would be if he grows up to be a pitcher.
There you go. Gives him an unfair advantage when he's typing.
It would be. No. We need it.
Like typing so many words per minute.
Yeah. Maybe we should stop.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's look at the advantages. Unless
you're always looking on the positive.
I'm a glass half full kind of guy.
You are. Actually, your glass is empty.
Yes, it is.
I apparently did not give you enough Crystal Light there. I apologize. Well, we're going to move on to some sports. Nothing big here, but a few things in the headlines, just for a few minutes. Let's don't forget, coming up about 6:40, 6:42, we have Dr. William Mitchell discussing XBMC and Boxy. It's an entertainment console where you can use with Apple TV and with Xbox. You want to catch this, it's going to be good. Brett Favre in the news again. It's like a broken record. Brett Favre he's the winner of an award. Would you say is he this week's award winner? He is. That's Brett Favre is this week's winner of the Sheep Award. I respect this guy on the field for his toughness and never missing a game and getting sacked 100 times and playing with broken bones. All that's very cool, and I never have doubted the validity of his toughness. But Eric, seriously, does this seem ridiculous to you?
What are we talking about?
Brett Favre retiring
again? Do you think it'll stick?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, look. I mean, how many times he's done this 2 times previous?
Right.
He strung the team along.
Personally, I think he should have left when he was on top and stayed with the team that he had been so loyal to forever.
Right.
But maybe he's seen his error of his ways and now would realize it's time to get out. Because I don't think any team. I think it's past time for him to go.
Right. I agree. I mean, he's not a bad quarterback.
No, he's not. If a team had a quarterback that went out in the middle of the season or something like that, I could see me going to him and saying, "Could you step in?" or first and second or whatever, something like that.
Or if you were wanting more interceptions thrown. If you wanted to increase your interceptions,
true,
then maybe perhaps you could bring Brett Favre on.
Yeah.
Because he seems to have mastered the interception. Anyhow, I just threw that out there because last year it was kind of embarrassing.
It becomes a yearly event.
Yeah, it's kind of like, look at me.
Right.
I'm just going to take control of the NFL for a bit and have everything about me. And I'm not saying that's what he's doing. That's just how it comes across, and it seems a little bit ridiculous to me. NBA, former NBA player, great in the NBA Hall of Fame, if we have any basketball fans listening, Elgin Baylor. He's been with the Los Angeles Clippers for 22 years. 22 years. He has sued the franchise, the NBA, and Donald Sterling, that's the team owner, alleging employment discrimination. And I won't go into all the details here, but basically he's saying that he was discriminated against on account of his age and race, and that he was grossly underpaid during his tenure with the Clippers, never earning more than $350,000 per year. The only reason why I'm bringing this up, he was a great basketball player. I've seen plenty of clips from him, and he was an amazing player. The thing that really caught my eye here is he was employed by this team for 22 years.
Right. You don't bring it up then.
And now, after 22 years, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to sue you." I mean, I don't have any patience for that, and that's as far as I want to go there. I kind of lost respect for him as a person, but not as a player. I have not done that. And last little sports story real quick before we get into our tech corner.
Is this a sports story?
Oh, well, because it is considered a sporting event.
Is it?
Yes. It's on the sports, foxsports.com.
Well, there you go. It must be.
PETA, the complete inept imbeciles at PETA, used KKK imagery at a dog show protest. The Westminster AKC show that they have yearly, airs on USA.
Yes.
They come in, they bring some dogs, they prance around, they show off their...
One of my clients is a handler at that show.
One of your clients is a handler. Maybe we could get your
She
client.
lives in New Jersey now. I'm sure she'd be happy to.
That would be very cool. Maybe she witnessed some of this. They were out on the sidewalk in front of Madison Square Garden with a big banner that said, "Welcome AKC members." But they had crossed out AKC, and they had written above it KKK. And then they were handing out brochures that said the KKK and AKC BFF. And I guess the BFF is best friends forever or some nonsense like that. And here is a direct quote from PETA spokesman, the idiot Michael McGraw. Obviously, it's an uncomfortable comparison. And he goes on to say, but AKC is trying to create a master race. It's a very apt comparison. So this person obviously is completely inept. I'm not even going to tame what I'm saying. I have no tolerance for PETA. I think they're complete idiots, and I think they should be in prison. That's my own personal thing. Let me explain to our listeners why I feel this way. I am the owner of a beautiful dog. She is our show's mascot.
Yes.
Her name is Bella.
Pictures on our website.
On our website. Her name is Bella. She is a pit bull. She's actually in here in the room with us right now. And this is not hearsay or an email chain or any nonsense like this. This is actually from PETA's website. They want to euthanize all pit bulls, Rottweilers, German Shepherds, and a couple other breeds that I'm not remembering right now. They want to euthanize all of them so that we can eradicate them altogether, their race. And I would like them to start with me. I would like them to come here because they're not taking my dog. They're not going to euthanize her. And also, God created animals for us to eat, period. And I know plenty of atheists that eat meat too, so you don't even have to believe in God. But I think the people at PETA are complete idiots, and I have no tolerance for them. And I am on my soapbox, and I do it proudly. Right. But seriously, even if you don't have a problem with PETA, comparing a dog show where the dogs are treated like kings and queens,
right,
and fed the absolute best food possible and travel in the absolute best environment possible and just treated and revered, and basically comparing that to the Ku Klux Klan, which is an organization of evil and hate, that blows my mind. It does.
Disgusting.
It is disgusting.
We ought to read that. Speaking of disgusting, what that man said.
Yes, one of the people that was handed he was handed one of the brochures. He walked away yelling, "That's disgusting. I'm going to buy more fur." So good for him.
Absolutely.
I think we should all buy more fur, and I think we should all protest PETA and throw red meat at them.
Well, I did not know that they were looking to euthanize all those dogs and eliminate that.
Absolutely. And next week, I will actually have the link, the URL, unless they've taken it down, from their website stating this to back it up. This isn't just hearsay. So anyhow, I'm going to get off my soapbox. Eric, will you help me down so I don't get hurt? I hate PETA, and I'm unapologetic about it. So that's pretty much it for our news and sports and things like that. Basically, right now, we're going to move into our tech corner. We're not having a tech corner every week,
no.
But on weeks that we do, we're welcoming our technology correspondent, the Dr. William Mitchell. And today he is going to be bringing us some entertaining news about XBMC Media Center. I'm kind of ignorant on this, Eric. I'm not going to lie. I'm ignorant on many things. But basically, this is...
Can't argue with you there.
You can't argue with me. Basically, what XBMC...
But this is one thing you won't be ignorant about after tonight.
No, you won't. And what we're going to do here, first and foremost, what we're going to do, we're going to just basically give you an overview of what it is. Just high level, completely high level. And then Bill is going to move forward with this project. And when he completes it, he's going to come back on, and he may give updates along the way, but when he completes it, he's going to come back on and kind of wrap it up to kind of tell, and give his experiences. So I'm just going to go real quick and tell you a little bit about Dr. William Mitchell. He is actually a coworker of mine. We have been working together since January of 2000. A brilliant technical mind that I have learned many, many things from. And he is has a beautiful wife and just a wonderful son. And he is a great father and a great husband. And I count it a privilege to know him as a friend, not only a coworker, but he is a personal friend of mine. But definitely very, very smart when it comes to technology. And that's why we have him as our technology correspondent. Eric does not know him as well, but Eric does know him. And we have actually been on camping trips. Mm-hmm. Just a great person. So that's just my little introduction to our featured presenter. And now we're going to ask Dr. William Mitchell to join our show, shall we?
Absolutely.
So Mr. Mitchell, are you there?
Hey, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Fantastic. How are you guys?
We are doing well. How about you?
Doing really well. I was just wondering if this is where I can get my PETA card. I wasn't sure. Anyway.
I'll get that for you after the show.
There we go. Well, first of all, I just wanted to thank you for asking me to come on and letting me be a small little snippet of part of your show. And thank you. It's been very enjoyable. And congratulations.
Thank you.
So, Boxy, that's a little project that kind of came about trying to look for alternatives. And I guess right now everybody's looking. With the economy the way it is, everybody's looking, where can I cut costs? And one of the big costs that we have in a lot of our lives is entertainment, and in the form of cablevision or satellite. And so I was doing research and trying to decide where could I, because I download shows, I watch shows online, I download shows into the Xbox 360. I said, but there's got to be a way to kind of move past that and get to where I don't have to rely on this monopoly. And so looking through a lot of the tech articles and things that I was finding, ran across a new program called Boxy. And what was really cool about it is someone had ported Boxy to be able to run on your old Xbox hardware. The old black boxes.
Right.
And those are worth nothing now. If you try to go sell those at a game store, they may give you $20, and that's almost an insult after paying, $200 for those? A couple of years ago. Now, we all know technology fades with time and becomes less and less valuable, but also being kind of wanting to keep with the whole eco theme of what we need to do to kind of reuse our resources, really wanted to see how we could repurpose that thing. This was the perfect opportunity. Boxy is based on what's called the Xbox Media Center project, and it's a project that started years ago, and where people would hardwire hacks into the Xbox and allow you to load basically its own OS. So you wouldn't have to go with the Microsoft OS. You could load games onto the hard drive and different things like that. We could talk for a whole show about that. But that's kind of how Boxy started out. It's based on that particular project. But what Boxy is, it's the Web 2.0 version of what cable's eventually going to be. And if you've heard of things like, have you guys heard of Twitter? Well, you have, because you have a Twitter account, because I'm following you guys, and it's a great thing. So, and Facebook and different things like that. Well, Boxy allows you to subscribe to feeds like MySpace TV, Netflix, Revision 3 Studios, Warner Brothers, ABC, CBS, CNN, and I can keep going on, Hulu, Music, MTV. Let alone, it'll allow you to log in and connect to your Facebook and your Twitter and all your kind of social networks. Along with that, it will show you what your friends, if your friends have Boxy, it'll show you what your friends are watching so that you could connect over and watch what your friends watching and then have a correspondence on the side in a chat about what you're watching.
Okay.
All over high def. Now, the Xbox, loading this on the Xbox not capable of doing high def. However, they just started porting this over to allow you to be able to do it on the Apple TV. And it's available on Linux, and it's available on Apple. So you are able to have this run. The PC version's coming out soon, and it's just what they consider a cable TV kind of killer eventually. One of the really cool things about it is, have you guys messed with BitTorrents at all? And do you know what BitTorrents are?
I have. I am not very successful at it, but I have done. I am familiar with the technology.
Okay. Well, basically BitTorrents, and just for the people online who may not know that are listening, BitTorrents are just kind of that peer-to-peer sharing. You have a client on your box, and you store a few files here, and someone else has the same files stored on their box, and there's central servers that allow you to gather bits and pieces of this file for you through your client. Now, there are legal BitTorrent sites and BitTorrent trackers that will track, legal movies that can be downloaded or legal TV shows that can be downloaded. Boxy has the ability to have a built-in client to go ahead and do those, so you can go ahead and tell it, I'm looking for, let's say, Doctor Who 1988, episode 5. Very obscure, but somebody in the UK has that somewhere. So this will allow you to go out, and it will continue to search the BitTorrent site. So in a nutshell, this is the Web 2.0 version of what Cablevision is going to go to. And what I'm hoping to get out of the project is the ability to maybe potentially get rid of cable TV, or at least scale my cable TV back quite a bit.
Okay. One thing that comes to mind, I would like you to I wanted to bring out that you were saying you were using this as a project with your son, and I thought that was a really cool thing. He's at an age where he's probably interested in technology, and it would be a learning experience for him, and also a project that you and him can work on together, as a form of bonding. And I thought that was a really cool idea that you came up with there.
Absolutely, it's one of those things that he's like, Dad, I don't want to get rid of my Xbox, and I've been kind of like, well, we have a new Xbox. And so when trying to repurpose things, we can repurpose them together. And so this was something that I said, hey, would you like to do this? And he's a Boy Scout, so eventually we'll be able to work this into a merit badge somehow, whether it be the electronics or some of the soldering we're going to do and different things like that. So, but yeah, anything that we kind of do and find here, I always try to find something that we can do together to kind of make it that, that one time, that one-on-one time, because before you know it, your kids are up and out of the door. And I never realized when I was growing up how quickly they grow up. So definitely, it's a great project. It's a great project that you could do with your kids. There are some great tutorials out there. So eventually what we'll do is we're going to be tracking this with pictures. We're going to be taking pictures along the way, and we're going to kind of do a small write-up as we go through so that we have it kind of logged. And we'll make that available to your listeners and link over to kind of see where we go with it and also see how successful we are. We're going to start with the Xbox because that's what we have today, and I'm in negotiations right now. I found an Apple TV that I can get my hands on at a fairly decent price. So we're going to get that because I want the ability to have the HD, which the Xbox isn't going to be able to do for you.
But now with the Xbox, you can still get widescreen, correct?
Absolutely. The Xbox will do the widescreen. It just is not going to do that high definition for you.
So you're probably just going to be at like 480i or 480p, but you can't get 720 or 1080.
That's correct.
Okay.
Correct. And some of the content that you're even thinking about, some of the content that you're going to be connecting to, like YouTube, unless people are recording that in the high def. Now, YouTube is just now starting to let you do that higher end quality, but it takes a long time for people to upload. So it depends on how that kind of catches with YouTube. But, they do that proprietary Flash algorithm that they run against it. And so it's not as clear. But now that they're allowing that higher definition stuff, YouTube will be a lot better. The great thing is it'll plug in to do the Apple movie trailers, so you'll be able to pull in different things like that and watch your favorite shows.
So let's just say if you didn't watch any of the premium cable channels such as Showtime or HBO, and you didn't, watch any of the premium like news channels, and you just watched network TV and some movies here and there, you could basically use this, get your Xbox, an older one, for $25. Work on it to the mod that's required, the modifications required, and you could use this to watch network TV shows off of Hulu. You could get some clips off of YouTube. You could basically do pretty much everything you could do with cable TV if you didn't use those premium services. Is that correct?
That is absolutely true. Now, one of the things I didn't, the project that we are doing is based on using that hardware, repurposing that hardware. Now, everybody who's kind of run Windows, some of the newer versions of Windows is aware that they probably have this icon on their desktop called Windows Media Player or Windows Media Center, and it allows, especially if they have a high-end graphics card with a cable adapter. That is a very stripped-down version of kind of what this is. So this is looking at, you can run this on your PC, you can run this on your Apple Mac, you can run this on your Linux box. The PC version is getting ready to come out. The Apple version, the Linux version is already out. So you don't have to run this on the Xbox. You don't have to run this on the Apple TV. You can run it on your desktop and just use it as your data aggregator.
Okay.
What's the cost of this software?
It is absolutely free.
Wow.
How about the modification? Where is it easy to get a hold of the chip?
Well, the modification, and here's the great thing, is years ago you had to buy the chip and actually do the jumper and the soldering to get that over. These days, there are particular games that have the code available to actually get you to be able to bridge over into the OS of the Xbox. The one we have is Splinter Cell. And all we have to do is the connectors are basically a glorified. It's just a USB connector with a different end on it. So what we're doing is we are cutting into that connector's wire, and then making a jumper over to a USB port. And so that allows us to plug in a USB storage card to upload the payload package or the alternate OS, the Xbox BMC, to the Xbox. And it sounds a little more complicated than what it's going to be. And once I get some of the photos published, it'll be a little easier to kind of see the flow. But you have to be able to get that payload up. Now, in the old days, it was done with a chip and you soldered it into the board. Today, you can do it software and load it to the hard drive via going through a hack in the software and then plugging in a USB and uploading it.
Okay, so you can do a hardware modification, but there's also a software modification. So for the people that would be maybe a little leery of ripping it apart and soldering it.
Absolutely.
Okay. I like that you offer, because I was going to ask, you're going to have a website, and you're going to post some pictures and some updates as you move along with this project with your son. And once you have that, if you will provide the show with that link, we will be happy to post it on all of our social networking sites and on our actual show site itself. So that'll be very interesting, so we can track the progress. And maybe we can have a little update now and then, but definitely when you're done, you're going to actually have more knowledge yourself on this subject at that point in time, and you'll be able to expound upon it even further. And if people are interested in it, I think it'll be a really neat thing for them to follow.
Definitely. And then, for me, this was something that as we came across it, we thought, what a great way to learn something new. So that's what, for me, this is a learning experience to do something with my son, and also, I'm looking at it from how can I save some money too. So if it works well for me, if I can find a really easy way to do it, then it might be something good for your listeners that who want to have a little bit of adventure and maybe cut out a little bit of cost in their entertainment dollar. Then this might be the way to go.
So we are providing you with our listener. We are providing you with entertainment and cost savings, because that's what we're about here.
Absolutely.
Well, Dr. Mitchell, I would thank you for joining our show today and giving us this technical presentation. We are about out of time, so we're going to have to end our call with you and go ahead and wrap the show up. But we are looking forward to updates, and we will post that information on our website when you make it available to us. And we look forward to future updates and finding out about it once you're completed with it.
Fantastic. Well, I just wanted to thank you again for having me on, and we will keep you posted as we move through this project.
Okay. Thank you. We'll talk to you later.
Very good.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye. Okay, Eric, that was interesting.
Absolutely.
I feel like I know a little bit more, but I still feel ignorant on it. I'm going to read up on it. So.
I learned a lot, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited about it.
It's a very cool. Do you have an older Xbox?
I don't.
But you can get one for $25.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, very cool. So basically, we are done. That is our show. Mm-hmm. I think it was a very good show. And next week we have some stuff in store for you. We can't tell you what it is right now.
Review of the movie Taken. I'm going to teach you how to save up to $600 a month off your credit card bills.
Oh, listen, people, savings.
But that's just a little sneak peek.
Okay, so people, thank you for listening. Listeners that aren't listening live that download it, thank you for downloading our program. Tell your friends about us. www.talkradio.com/Incoherent Ramblings. Thank you, and have a wonderful week.
This has been Blog Talk Radio's The Incoherent Ramblings of C&E. Christopher and Eric are your hosts, and we would like to thank you for listening to our show today. Don't forget to tune in for next week's show live from Greensboro, North Carolina, as we are every Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time.